Hey there, Green Spumoni here. I know it's been a really long time since I posted a video. In fact, I recorded one over spring break, but I got so busy that I just never managed to edit it and put it up. So I apologize for that. It's just, when I'm in the middle of school, it's kind of hard to do anything else. And the way our semester was this time, it was broken up into two mini-mesters. So I was constantly studying. If you're currently a nursing student, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't have much time for anything else. If you are working toward becoming a nursing student, you'll find out. Okay, about my semester, I finished Med-Surg 1 and Med-Surg 2, or Concepts of Adult Health 1 and 2, both with B's. That was kind of a hard pill to swallow for me initially, because I was a straight, I was a 4.0 student, and not just a 4.0 student, but in most of my classes, most of them ran on a point system, like 1,000 points equals an A or 1,500 points equals an A, and most of them I got more than that number of points. So to finish with a B, like I said initially, was a hard pill to swallow, until I realized that I worked really hard for that B, and I am very proud of those Bs. In both of those, I was less than a point, in one case less than half a point, away from an A. Nobody's ever going to know that. My transcript doesn't show B+. My GPA doesn't show that it was an almost A, B, but I know it, and it is kind of comforting for me. I know it's weird, but there you go. Like I said, I did have to work hard for those Bs. I'm still trying to find my study method, and I'm still trying out new things. I went online to howtostudy.com and took one of those assessment quizzes that talks about what kind of learner you are, because I'm still not sure. I kind of think I'm a mixture of all the different kinds, which is basically what that quiz told me, but it did give me some tips to try out. So I'm going to make a note of those and give some of those a shot for the next semester. I still, over tab my books, over highlight, and really colorful highlighting, and that seems to help me, so I'll continue with that. Clinicals was wonderful. I was placed at a local hospital, obviously, and I was able to, I guess float would be the best term, to different areas for observation. I was able to see a total of, I think, 5 surgeries in the OR, including observing the circulating nurse to see what she does in that job. I spent a lot of time in the emergency department, and down in emergency I was given the opportunity to start an IV and insert an NG tube. I did a number of injections, including intramuscular injections, passed a lot of meds on the floor that I was placed on and in the emergency department. Overall, I think it was a great clinical rotation. I was really excited about clinicals this semester, and in fact, clinicals for me was the best part of my semester. Had to write a bunch of papers, got A's on those, so yeah, I feel good about that. I'm taking the summer off. Our program does not run through the summer. They used to, from what I understand, but they stopped doing summer classes because it was messing with the opportunities that some of the students had for externships in local hospitals. I personally did not go for any externships for the summer because, number one, I had some family things that were coming up, and I wanted to make sure I was available for those. Number two, I just needed a break. By the end of last semester, I was so burnt that, I was getting a little hard to live with. So, although I'm getting better at balancing life and school, I still need a little work. So I'm going to work on that a little bit, and I'm going to do a little studying this summer. I have to do some remediation for one of my exit exams. I did not score as well on one of my exit exams as I would have liked to, and so I have to do some remediation with that. We do Kaplan, and the reasoning behind that has a bit to do with that balance thing I was talking about and the hard to live with thing. yeah, there were a couple things that happened when I was studying that just kind of pushed me over the edge. So didn't do very well. But still, you know, still pulled a very high B. Like I said, less than a point away from an A in the class. So I'm not going to complain. And there are a couple things that I got a hold of that I really want to look over before we start in the fall. But on top of that, I've been catching up on sleep. I'm going to read for pleasure. Not memorize, just plain read. And one of my other hobbies that I take a lot of joy from and take a lot of pleasure from is photography. I like being in my head and framing a shot and deciding what angles to get and what settings on the camera to use. So I'm hoping to get out and do some of that this summer to try to recenter myself so that I am fresh and ready when we start again in the fall. This fall is going to be OB and Peds. So, yeah, I think that's all fall. And then in the spring, we go back and do Med-Surg 3. And then I graduate. It's getting close. But, yeah, so I got to get geared up for OB and Peds. In the meantime, I'm also one of the class officers, and we're doing some things to help orient the new incoming juniors to give them help with the culture shock that they experience, and that unfortunately we didn't get that help with, and it's not the fault of the seniors at the time. There was some upheaval in our program at that time, and things just kind of fell through the cracks. So we're making sure that they don't fall through the cracks. So we're helping out the incoming juniors a little bit, and hopefully doing a couple things over the summer for our nursing club that are just, you know, like group walks and things like that, and preparing for our state nursing student convention in the fall. But other than that, I am taking it easy this summer. I'm just going to, like I said, read, maybe some photography, catch up on some television, and enjoy my family. And that is my advice for anybody out there who is starting a nursing program in the fall. I know how hard it is to hold back. You are excited. You want to get started. You want to do everything. You want to get started on your reading. You want to brush up. You want to make sure you go in there looking good. You want to impress. But my advice to you is, if you are not in school this summer, if you're not taking classes, don't do anything school related. Enjoy your family, or, you know, enjoy some time to yourself. Read books if that's what you love to do. Take walks, go on hikes, do whatever it is you love to do, because once you start in your program, you won't have time for that, or you will have very little time. You will eventually find a balance. Everybody finds their groove, everybody finds their balance eventually, but it doesn't happen right away. And so initially you're going to be overwhelmed, and you're not going to have time for those things you love and for those people you love. So that's my advice for those of you who are planning to start a program in the fall. Take some time, because if you don't do it now, you will regret it. And this is speaking from experience. So I will try. I've got to, you know, do a couple things. I do have a couple things I have to do for the fall. Like I said, I have to do my remediations. I have to update my TB test. You have to do that. We have to do that every year. And my Hep B, I have to get titers for that. So hopefully within the next few weeks, I'll have another video for you. Maybe I'll talk about some of the things that I found on the web for the different types of learners, if that appeals to anybody out there. In the meantime, I thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I apologize for it being so long since my last video. But yeah, I'm old, I'm crazy, and I don't always have time. But I'll try to do better. I will try. In the meantime, see ya.